Welcome to another episode of GW Recap. George truly, Cardell Dudley Jr. and George Washington came up with a big win, pulling away in double overtime over Ohio, 99-94, and improving to 5-0 on the season. Man, it was a hell of an effort in overtime to just put away a pesky Ohio team that just wouldn't go away, man. They made it a hell of a fight, man. Um, when it looked like GW will pull away in regulation the first overtime, Ohio will make a run, and they will push GW to the limit. But ultimately, in double overtime, Max Edwards. What can you say about the kid? I'm gonna talk about him a lot throughout this episode. Uh, Hit three big threes in the second overtime to give GW the cushion that they needed to kind of separate themselves and pull out the win. But he wasn't alone, man. James Bishop and Garrett Johnson. They got the ball rolling in the first half. Scoring wise. Defending well, facilitating to kind of spark GW to an early lead where it looked like all right, it's a chance they may cruise until Ohio eventually made their run. What I'm saying, but James Bishop did what we all expect him to do. Obviously, he's the last season he was the A10 leading scorer. This year, the team is a lot deeper, so they don't need him to score as much, but he's still capable of waking up and doing what he need to do to make sure that the Revolutionaries, obviously, the new name, pulls out a win, and that's what he did. It's a young team, but with that being said, the youth movement, the freshmen on this team, they're getting it done. They're getting it done. But it all starts with James Bishop, who finished with 28 points, 5 assists, 10 of 21 from the field, 4 of 9 from deep, 4 of 4 from the field. I'm from the free throw line. I mentioned Max Edwards had a monster double once again, 22 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals. He's just doing it all. Can't say enough about him. On 7 to 15 shooting from the field and 4 of 10 from deep. So keep in mind, he was 1 for 7 before that second overtime surge where he had 3 straight 3-pointers. And that ultimately won the game. That just tells you about his mental toughness and the confidence that he has in this game. And how he has a short memory, man. When he's off, he can flip the switch and look like Max. You know what I'm saying? So he's definitely improved his game and put in work over the all season. He's a different animal right now. One of the best freshmen in the A10, if not the country, Garrett Johnson. I know he's a red shirt, but regardless, he's a freshman. 15 points, another 8 rebound game, which is his average on the season, 3 steals and 2 assists. Doing it all as well, 3 of 6 from deep. But honestly, to me, the X factor in this game, Darren Buchanan, DC product, Wilson High School, he was huge, man. 25 points off the bench, 6 rebounds, 2 assists on 9 of 12 shooting, 7 of 12 from the line in 41 minutes. Another redshirt freshman. Like I said, the freshmen on the scene have been getting it done all season long. They're a lot deeper. They're a lot more talented up and down the roster. They're just inexperienced, and that's where Bishop comes into play as far as leading those guys. And he's obviously doing a hell of a job because they're 5-0. On Ohio side, they were pesky, man. Jalen Hunter, team high 25 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Came in the game averaging 12.7 points, 5.7 rebounds, 5.7 assists. That didn't have the best shooting percentage coming in, man, but shooting 27% for the field and for the season. But he finished with 40% in this game, so slightly better. He's just a good kid that could do a number of things. Obviously, he was getting his teammates involved, man, but he was just relentless. He just kept attacking, and he wouldn't stop. He wanted to pull this game out. And he was determined to not be denied. But ultimately, like I said, GW made shots when they needed to. Sharif Mitchell, another 6'1" guard, senior. Look, he came in averaging 9 points, rebounds and 2.7 assists on 37% shooting from the field. He finished with 23.6 rebounds, 2 assists in 45 minutes on 53% shooting from the field, 42% shooting from the line. Like, well, that's what I mean, man. That backcourt really stepped up, and they made it a game. They played beyond their productivity of what they brought to the team so far this season. Um, and against a good George Washington team, man. Since you can't take nothing away from them, man. And that's the thing. You think certain teams are just supposed to, on paper, get an easy victory, and that's not the case, man. You got to play every game, and you have to show it with a sense of urgency and bring an intensity level to every game. Now that's easier said than done. People are human. See, you're not making much noise. They see your record or whatnot. See certain players may not have a name, so it's human nature for some teams to let their guard down. I wouldn't say that's what GW did because they came out, um, especially James Bishop, Gary Johnson. They came out, locked in. But regardless, when the team was desperate and they looking for a win, especially when you're undefeated, uh, it could be a better game than what most people had, thought coming in, and that's pretty much what you saw today. Uh, still sticking with Ohio, AJ Clayton, 13 points, 12 rebounds, 5 blocks. 6'8" kid. He was getting it in inside. While Hunter and Mitchell did their thing on the perimeter, uh, from the backcourt, Clayton was holding it down inside, and they needed to. He was a big reason why Akimbola, George Washington's elite rim protector, why he fouled out. You know what I mean? He had 4 and 3 in 19 minutes, but he, fouled out, and that actually hurt GW a lot because they really went small. Without him, they're very small. Um, I think when he leaves, they pretty much 6'8". You know what I mean? And they go from 6'10" to 6'11" to 6'8", and it's tough. Especially when you're dealing with teams that may have multiple bigs, man. But they held up, and they, like I said, they managed to pull off the win. The difference in the game ultimately 3-point shooting, uh, especially in a close game. GW shot 12 of 29 from deep, 41%, and Ohio shot 9 of 33 for 27%. Also, free throws. George Washington shot 21 to 27 for 77%. Ohio shot 15 to 25 from 60% from the line, man. Little things. It's those little things that add up to big things, as Michael Jordan once said, and that's what you saw. Had Ohio shot better from the free throw line, made a couple more threes, the outcome could have went their way, but because they made a couple more baskets than GW overall, but neither here nor there, they didn't do it, and you know, that's why they don't ultimately fail, man. Another good thing I like about GW, uh, they they moved the ball a little bit today, not below their standards. They only had 14 assists, uh, but they did keep Ohio guessing. It wasn't just an isolation type deal like last season with James Bishop. Even though he had Ricky Lindo and Brandon Adams and Hunter Dean, James Bishop was obviously the first option, sometimes the second option on offense. Man, it's just what it is. And this year he doesn't have to be that. Um, GW, what really hurt them, if it's a negative with them, is the turnovers, man. Uh, they had 21. That's tough. They still won. They managed to overcome it, but they made it a lot harder than it has to be. And with their 21 turnovers, um, Ohio capitalized big time off them. You know what I mean? So they gotta, and that's uncharacteristic for them. They normally take good care of the ball, man. So they gotta get back to doing that, especially when they play UIC tomorrow. They definitely gotta take care of the ball and you know continue to bring the same energy that they did today. Obviously Akimbola stay out of foul trouble, but their offense for the most part was good. I know Garrett Johnson. This is like the first game where he was inefficient from the field. He's 4-12, but I think that's a misnomer. I think he's going to bounce back and be what he's shown in the first 4 games, man. Being close to a double-double and an efficient scorer, man. So, all in all, this was a hell of a win. And the thing is about GW, out of all the players I mentioned that made huge impacts, they have other players that are fully capable of joining them, and that's why they're going to be tough to deal with throughout the season and tough to beat, game in and game out. If everybody does their job, whatever role that Caputo has assigned for them when they step on the floor, if they do their job, George Mason, I mean not George Mason, George Washington's going to be they're going to be tough to handle. They're going to be very tough to handle, man. So um, check back with y'all soon with another episode of GW Recap. Um, Once again, GW defeats Ohio 99-94, proving the 5-0. We're going to see if they can make it 6-0 tomorrow against URC. Check with you guys later.